Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to talk about the Stroop effect, and this video focuses on how you can quickly translate it into your own language. On the PsyToolkit website there's an English version. It's also explained, you probably already know what it is. So let me first quickly explain what the Stroop effect is. So in the Stroop task you see a word, but you need to actually not speak the word or know what the word is, but say what the color of the letters is. So in this case the color of the letters are green, similar to the meaning of the word. But in this case, in condition B here, the word meaning is green, but the letters are red. And it turns out that people find this more difficult to respond to. So if you need to say this is red, even though the word meaning is green, that people find that difficult. So people respond more slowly. Inside Toolkit, you can measure that yourself. So you can try out a task here, do it yourself. So if we quickly do this in the English version, you need to in this specific lesson we're going to talk about how to translate it. So let's take for example some words. So I have for example the word red written in red, so that's congruent, and we have the word red written in blue. We call it incongruent because it's more difficult. In order to for this to make work, you need to have four color words. In the English version we have red, green, blue, and yellow, and so we have four colors. And one of the important things is, from a technical point of view, is that these words they start with a different letter, so that we can press different keys on the keyboard. So we press the R if the letters are colored red. We press the G if the color of the letters is green. We press the B if the color of letters is blue, and we press the Y on the keyboard if the letters are yellow. So the first thing you need to do if you want to translate it to your own language. So for example, let's say you translate it to Spanish. I'm not a native speaker, but I looked it up. And if you take red, for example, in Spanish is rojo, green would be verde, blue would be azul, and yellow would be amarilla. And this is actually a problem because you see now two of the colors start with an A. And that wouldn't work for if you want people to respond to these word colors with letters on the keyboard. So you need to choose a different color. So for example, if we take instead of yellow, if we take white, bianco, then it would work. So we have rojo with an R, verde with the key V, azul with the A, and white, bianco with the B, and then you have different keys. And that's important. This wouldn't work. So you need to go with so you might go with different colors than we have in the English version. That's fine. Now, how is with other languages? I want to give one. So not all languages, of course, are written in the Latin letters, right? The Latin alphabet. So, but you can, if you take for example, Chinese, and you use pinyin, um, the pinyin writing method. Sorry, I might not say this all 100% correctly, but my understanding is you have for example, in Chinese you would have hongse for red, lüse for green, lanse for blue, and huangse for yellow. The problem again, you have this problem. You have one color that would have the same letter, so red and yellow. That wouldn't work. So you could again choose different. In Chinese, you would probably go for hongse, lüse, baize, which is white, and zize, I think, is purple. And then you would have different. Then you can use like the Western style keyboard and do that. So if you want that. And there will be other languages where you have this issue. I think that might be the case for Arabic. It might be the case for Hindi, but so you need to use a way that it works with a Western keyboard if you have a Western keyboard. So that's one thing to look at. But in this example, now let's say we go for Spanish and we are going to use the words rojo, verde, azul, and bianco. Now let me show how I would do that in the code. So this was just to explain it. So now first what you need to do is you actually need to go to the library of experiments and take a translatable version. So if we look for Stroop on this website, So we have the Stroop task. Now the regular Stroop task uses images. The Stroop, well, we have a version that has no images in it, so that's easy and quick to translate. So let's say you are a student, you want to do this quickly. You go to this one. It explains how to do it. But what you really need to do is you need to download this. So you click on this. This is a zip file. So you download it to your system. I already had downloaded it. So then you can upload that to your own account. Now for this, you need to have a PsyToolkit account. So you need to log in to your PsyToolkit account. Let's do that. So you need to, if you haven't an account yet, register a new account or log in if you have an account. So I'm now logged in. And so we need to first, I'll zoom in a little bit. We create a new experiment and you don't do it from scratch. You want one so that you have just downloaded on your own computer. So if you're on your file manager, you choose that file so if you do that, you have here, you need to go through your file browser and then you create an experiment. So then you get Stroop underscore en. Now you can rename this. For example, if you want to rename it, say Stroop Spanish. Uh, you can rename it in whatever you want. Now, how do we do this? So it's now really simple and it really takes a few minutes. So first we need to translate basically everything that is in quotes with Spanish. So we change both. So you don't need to understand the coding. So if you want, there's lots of tutorials, but here we just do it. So you go verde for green, verde. We translate azul, uh, azul, and then we don't use yellow, but instead we are going to use, say, bianco, which is white. Now, everything that follows the hash mark is actually a human readable command. I can do this. I don't need to do this. I only need to translate what's in quotes, but because instead of yellow, I want to use white, and I do this always with a background of gray, so you would still see white. What you need to do is, so here are some more text. You should have pressed the R key. All these texts, you need to translate them through Spanish or whatever language you want to translate it in. Here the same, everything in quotes, okay? So I'm not going to do that now, but you can do that yourself. Now, because the ink color is yellow, in this case, you would use a different color. You would use uh, bianco. Now, there's one place in the code where we actually set the actual color, and that is here. So here, if you don't work with red, green, blue, and yellow, you need to change that. So if you, for example, go with uh, uh, red, we take red, rojo. We call it different, but it's red. The coding here is this is English. The PsyToolkit language uses English coding. So green makes a word green, blue stays green. But for this one, we're going to use white instead of yellow because we've replaced this. And this needs not to be bianco, but white because this is actually a part of the computer code, white. Okay, so do that. Now the word correct is feedback to people in quotes. So that all should be translated. We're almost there. You're in the feedback at the end, so there's more stuff in quotes that you need to replace that, and you're done. Some more quotes for instructions that needs to be done. One thing that I also would like to that's actually in the computer code. So we tell PsyToolkit at the beginning of the task which keys need to be pressed on the keyboard. With the R for red, the green, the G for green, blue for B for blue, and the Y for yellow. So here you need to change this. This is computer code. Now, in Spanish we have different words. So we're going with these words. So we have R, the V, the A, and the B here. So we need to replace that through R. So R for rojo, V for verde, A for azul, and B for bianco. That's important because people do not, it's because it's different than the English version. Then you save it. Now you need, assuming you have done all the translations, you compile it and you run the experiment. Now You can also change this click to start. That's an option. We'll do that in a second. You can change to Spanish. Uh, Now, these are things that I didn't translate yet, but they are in quotes, so you can translate them. There are the instructions, so you need to change that. This okay. Now try this yourself. But then you see here, for example, you have not everything is translated yet. One thing there is actually a an option inside Toolkit where you can set this start text. Now, if you want to know those sort of things, you can go to the command overview and go to options. And if you say the start button text, we copy that here. And you can uh, click this to, I don't know what that would be. Spanish. You need to have the Spanish, say, click key. I don't know what it is. It will be something like that. I could use it, look at Google Translate. I just want to make a quick tutorial, so look it up yourself. But whatever, and you will not all be, it might be Spanish or Dutch. If it would be Dutch, for example, I would say uh, here, and then you would see, and I'll just to show you that if I compile again, run the experiment, you see at the red box that people always need to press. The reason for that is technical. I won't go into that. But now you have your experiment translated. Now, don't forget that you need to embed it in a survey. Say, for example, if I already have a test survey here, you need to always get these sort of questions. How old are you? What's your gender? Again, these things at the Q colon. So you need to change this into Spanish or whatever your language is. And this one as well. And here, female, male. So change it in Spanish. You add one additional item. So you can actually go to the easy mode. That's easy. So you need to get plus here. So after gender, so you want a so-called experiment. You can call it whatever you want. The only thing that you need to select here is Stroop Spanish. And if you have, so there are two experiments you can choose one. Choose Stroop Spanish, save question, and then go back to the regular view. You see actually that you have added this. So all you need to do in your survey, you compile it. There are lots of things you can set. You need to just flip through that. It's very intuitive. You can choose a language. It's quite important. Some of the headers are done in Spanish, but you can spell lots of different languages. We have Arabic, we have Chinese, we have Hindi, we have lots of languages. If your language is not here, send me an email, and then we can add that. So in your own account, you can even do a translation, and then I can use that translation so that everybody can benefit from it. And that's it. There you go. I hope that was helpful. If you like these sort of videos, please like and subscribe. And if you have questions, please leave a question below the video so that your question, probably other people might have the same question. Then I can answer them here, and then that's great. Okay, thanks for watching and good luck with your project.